Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to our live feed update for October 3rd. Still feels weird to say October in an update, but I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and I'm here to update you on everything that happened yesterday on the Big Brother 25 live feeds. It was day 62 in the house, and we had a veto ceremony. We had talks about the vote for the eviction. And there was a big fight that happened that we didn't see. So we're going to talk about it all today. And with me to talk about it all is Maggie. How you doing, Maggie?
Hi, Taran. Hi, everybody. I'm good. Unfortunately, we have come here today with something less than exciting than what I thought that I was going to be covering on Sunday. But like you said, a big fight that hopefully the episode will be fun. The feeds were down for it, but yeah, there's some stuff to discuss, definitely.
There is some stuff to discuss. So, of course, Cameron is the HOH. He nominated Mimi and Felicia with Felicia as the target. He then won the veto and changed his mind and decided he wanted to target Corey. Jag pushed back considerably and eventually got Cameron to change his mind again. And he decided just the night before on day 61 not to use the veto. So he woke up the morning of day 62 with that in mind. And so that is the plan heading into the veto meeting that takes place on day 62. But the question at the time was, is something going to change his mind again? So we start the day with something a little unrelated to that, which is that Felicia is not done campaigning for the veto to be used either. She has a last minute plan of her own. She's going to go to America and say, America, I need your help. I need your help to get Cam to use the veto and put up a strong male, to take a strong male out of the game. And America's like, I don't think he's going to do that, though. And Felicia's like, but what if, hear me out, what if you say, like, hey, it wouldn't impact my game if Corey were to leave? Maybe he'd listen. America's like, I'm not going to throw Corey under the bus. It's just a thought, just a thought.
But America, haven't you noticed how much better Blue's game has gotten since Jared left? Like, have you noticed that? Right? You've noticed. Yeah. That could be you.
Could be you. Blue could be you.
This is why Miss Felicia just can't leave. This conversation horrifically awkward. So quiet. America was literally just sitting there like, I don't know what to say, basically. Like, in her head, she was like, is this for real right now? And like, the thing that you got to just appreciate about Miss Felicia watching this is she just goes for it. Like, she's like, you know what? Might as well. And I am in love with her for it. It was great. It was wonderful, wonderful television.
Yeah. Well, Cam finally gets moving and he talks to Bowie about their how they're going to the end together. It's them two. Don't trust Blue. She's sketchy. And he lets her know he's not using the veto. He's putting his faith into the group. But they do need a name. Lots of talk about naming groups today. And they need to come up with one. It's not going to be the Swans because Cam hates that name. Bowie really likes it, though. It's like a sports team or something. And then he talks to Corey. And he lets Corey know. He says, listen, Corey, got some stuff to talk about. Corey's like, what's up, bro? As he does, probably arms up on the couch. Maybe he's got the shades on. Maybe messing with his mustache. And Cam says, listen, Blue has been pitching for you to go up on the block this week. Corey's like, what, this week? Yeah, like today. Like, she wants you, like this meeting that's about to happen, she wants you on the block now. She told me all about your conversation on the hammock, how you were targeting me. And listen, I don't believe it. I'm sure that you were just saying what you needed to placate her. And Corey's like, yeah. I mean, she was talking about targeting you, so we were having that. She was the one. She was doing that, and Cam's like, Corey. She told me all about you know comp game of 9, social game of 4. Thanks for that, by the way. Corey's like, yeah. She was saying 4. Yeah, she was saying that. She was saying about the 9. She said you were not 9. She was saying we were like 7s. That she was saying those things. Yeah, for sure. She was saying that.
It's totally the way that Blue talks, like referencing the stock watch and like rating the players because Blue knows all about this podcast and RHAP and like totally that's totally like her thing that she would talk like that, not me. That's not at all what I would do in the
Yeah.
house. Mhm.
Corey says, listen, I appreciate you letting me know. But like, my concern now is like, do Matt and Jag know this? Because they talk to Blue a lot. If Blue's been pushing me to go up on the block, like, why haven't they told me this? And Cam's like, well, I talked to them about it last night. I can't speak for them, but I don't think it's anything malicious. I think that like, I'm sure that they will talk to you about it. Corey's like, they've been like vouching for Blue though when I talk to them. And Cam's like, I think they're probably just feeling the situation out. If you go talk to them now, I've opened that door. Like, I think it'll be fine. And Corey's like, okay. And he goes and he says to America, so Blue's been targeting me.
He says, we've got the same problem again. And America's like, what? And he's like, Blue. Obviously Blue. Every time we have a very serious conversation about our big problems, it's that Blue has opened her mouth and told everybody about what you or I have said to her. Like it really is in this situation with Blue. Like I think that it's frustrating to watch. Like the whole situation is very frustrating. And I think that we as viewers sometimes like put the onus on like Blue, like, oh, she's such a rat. Like she's gonna go and rat out everybody.
No, it's
But like
anyone who tells Blue anything.
I'm like, we've been in this house 65 days. And I mean, literally, you can't even count on two hands how many times they've caught Blue doing this. Like, what are you doing? Like, why would you talk to her? Like, about anything important to your game? That's completely on you then. And also, like, when I came on this podcast last week, I was like, I do think it looks like Corey, he's running out of rope here. Like I was like, he deserves to be in the jury the way that he's played, but like with the twist this season, I'm not sure that he's going to make it because he's running out of rope. And the fact that he made it through this week is an absolute miracle. Like I cannot believe that he did. You tweeted that gif of the house falling and the person standing in the window, and that is the epitome of what happened to Corey this week. Like, and he would have had no one to blame but himself. But like, look, I'm pumped. He's in jury. This is great. But he's got to figure this out because it's really going incredibly poorly for him. And he's got to step it up in some way and just being like, Blue's telling my secrets. Like, no. The initial instinct that you have that, why have Jag and Matt not told me? Like, that to me was the aha moment that he had that caused him to flip on Jared, where he's like, oh my God, Suri told Matt that she played in that competition. I'm in a worse spot than I imagined. Like, that's what this conversation needed to do to him.
Yeah, I mean, Corey is he used to be Jag. He used to be the guy preventing the thing from happening that wouldn't be good for his game. Now he is the thing that might happen.
Yep.
He is the Heisem or Cam. He is the Riley or Cam. He is the Red or Cam. And he doesn't seem to recognize it. He does talk about how he's a little suspicious about Matt and Jag not telling them. But he says he needs to talk to them about it today. And so the veto meeting happens. And Cameron does not use the veto. Felicia and Mimi are staying on the block. But during the veto meeting, Felicia calls Corey out in her speech. don't know exactly what was said. Something along the lines of probably he's a rat, a liar, a snake, and he outed a Final Four alliance that I was in with him, and he listens through the walls, and screw this guy. He should be going on the block. And after the speech, her and America get into an argument because America starts chiming in like, hey, how dare you, I guess. And this is the big fight that happens. We did not see it on the feeds. The feeds stayed down until after it ended. But she does ask Cameron afterward with Jag there. She says, so how bad did I just blow up my game? And Cameron says, what game? Yeah, it's blown. And Matt is kind of annoyed about the situation. He's like, well, now nobody's going to keep Felicia. She's definitely leaving. Corey says he respects the play, even though it doesn't really make a lot of sense to him. And Jag's like, that was great for us, Cam. Corey got bodied. Cam's like, yeah, he's the new Cameron.
No one can ever be the new Cameron. Cam, sorry to tell you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So Corey does go and talk to Jag. Eventually, he's like, so apparently Blue's been pitching for me to get backdoored. And Jag's like, yeah, I've been fighting for your life, bro. He's like, was Cam into it? He's like, no, just Blue pushing a lot. I was telling Cam, like, he's into the five of us, and I was telling him, like, he's going after Blue. He's going after Blue. Don't worry about him. He's not going after you. And Corey's like, okay. It's just like, my thing is like, has she talked to any of you guys about this? Like, Jag says, I mean, yeah, it's been like a lot of Corey or Cam. And it's been like, ooh. And Corey's like, I just wish you would have told me. Jag's like, I didn't want to take a risk. I didn't want to, it wasn't a risk I wanted to take because I was worried, like, I didn't want anything to happen with the veto. Like, I didn't want you to start acting differently. Corey's like, yeah, but like, I was trying to make things better with Blue, and I just ended up giving her more ammunition.
Translation. Oh, I didn't want to take a risk. Oh, I didn't know if I wanted to save you enough that like that was a risk I was willing to take to blow up my spot.
So here's the thing though. There was a spot where Jag was pushing really hard to keep Corey, and didn't tell Corey about it for theoretically good reasons. Like, if you tell Corey Cam is on the verge of backdooring you, Corey might go do something to blow up his own spot. It might, if Corey gives away that Jag has told him, it ruins Jag's credibility to then save Corey. There is a reason why you might do that, but not if it's Blue that's doing it, because Blue has no power. And if Blue finds out that Jag told Corey, it doesn't matter. So the explanation does make some sense. And I think that's why Jag is saying it, because it's true for Jag in that moment, but it doesn't make sense with the Blue story. It only makes sense with a Cam story. And in addition to that, it's like, it does go beyond that. The reason he's not telling Corey about the Cam thing is because he wants to be able to maintain his current structure, and he won't be able to do that if Corey knows that Cam was coming for him at this point. And so it is a little bit layered here. There is theoretically a reason to not tell somebody in a very short-term period of time. But in general, there's still a larger picture to I think focus on.
I'm just trying to point out, if I'm in Corey's position, him saying, oh, it was too risky to tell you, like, but I'm the one who's in danger. Like, I would not like that at all. And I would perhaps open my eyes a bit more than Corey has after these conversations.
Definitely. But I will say though, Corey being like, if you had told me, I would have known to not say anything to Blue. Like, no, you wouldn't have. You would have gone to Blue and done the same thing because you knew that you couldn't trust Blue. Like, what do you mean, Corey?
Yeah. Also, yeah, not trusting Blue, like we just said, is nothing new. Literally, the fact that even when he told America, like, we've got the same problem again, why is it still a problem? Why are you talking to her at all? Talk to her about life and things that you want to do when you get out of here and about your family. Do not talk to her about anything in the game. Like, she is completely untrustworthy to you, especially because this was even before you were actually targeting her. Now that you've put her on the block, like, I mean, I just like nothing about it makes logical sense to me at all.
Here's what you should talk to Blue about. Talk about how you regret taking Jared out of the game. It was such a it was such a bad move for me. I can't believe I fell into that trap because that's why she's mad at you. You know, people want to hear their own feelings reflected in other people. And if she feels like he thinks that he made a mistake, she's going to be a lot more willing to open up to him and work with him. You don't need to Blue's not a person that you're going to just logic into submission with hey, so this is what I think I should do and what you should do, especially given that she's already annoyed with you. But Corey says, look, at the end of the day, I know that the reason I'm being protected is because of you and Matt. So I appreciate it. And that's basically their conversation. Corey talks to Mimi as well. He's like, I don't get why I'm being called out by Felicia. I respect it, but I don't understand it. And Mimi gives him nothing. Mimi gives him less than nothing. Mimi's like, yeah, I don't really know much about why she's doing that. We talked recently, but before that, I don't know anything. And so, I'm not trying to get myself involved in drama. That's not really, I'm not trying to get myself involved in any drama. She says this multiple times throughout the day. Basically Corey's like, hey, what's up with Felicia saying that I ratted out our final four when that wasn't even really a thing and I didn't do that. And Mimi basically said, yeah, I'm not trying to get myself involved in drama.
Yeah, I mean,
she's on the block.
I just think that she's concerned that if she says too much, she's like, great, what happened with Felicia? I think that what Mimi is trying to do, if I put myself into her brain, is I'm sitting on the block. I'm like, crap, I could go home. Felicia does something very drastic, buries Corey, puts a huge target on herself. If I'm Mimi, I'm like, and we can vote now. So I think that she's like, nothing else happened. I'm not trying to get involved in drama because I don't want anything else to happen. I want the status quo to stay exactly how it is right now so that when we vote, Felicia will go home.
Yeah, it's not how it works though.
But I'm just saying, I think that that's where she's coming from. If you want my opinion about what she's doing, no, I don't think that it's the right thing to do. I'm just saying that that's probably why she's doing it.
Yeah, he's basically saying look, I'd love to find a way to work together, maybe keep you in the game for as long as possible, but I don't want to force any conversations. That gets awkward. She's like, yeah. And the conversation ends.
Oh, goodness. Mimi.
Matt and Jag talk. And they're like, is there any way we can keep Felicia? Because Mimi's a much bigger threat to us competitively. Felicia's going after Corey, not us. Could we do that? They start counting some votes. They're like, maybe not. But we'd have to kind of piss off Corey in America because she just went at them. Felicia comes up to them. She's been doing some pitching to Jag. She says, hey, listen, I will always be with the two of you. I will never vote you out. Suri and you two, Suri and Mimi are basically my people. And they're like, yeah, I just don't know if we can do it. It's not worth going against Corey in America. So probably not, but maybe we could feel it out.
I think that there will be a lot of feeling out this week if I had to be if I had to.
Corey and America are still in the game.
Whoa. I thought I was talking to Taran.
Boy.
I thought I was talking to Taran, not Robert Sesternino, okay? Yeah, I think that like there's a lot of opportunity for Felicia. And, on the roundtable last night, Aman said like Felicia is the type of player who just does things in the moment. And then because she's built up this reputation for herself, like 2 days later, she's the type of character or the type of player who could reconcile. Like I could see her going to Corey in America and being like, you know, this was a mistake on my end. I'm really sorry that that happened. I felt like my back was against the wall. Cameron was pitting it as me against you, Corey. And, I just really wanted him to try to use the veto on me, XYZ. Like, I feel like Felicia is the type of person who can build that bridge. And if somebody like she's up against Mimi and Mimi's like, yeah, I don't want to get involved in drama or talk to you or force conversations, Corey, bye. Like, I think that Corey is the type of player who would be more open to that. So I think that there's room for movement here.
Yeah. Well, Matt talks to America. They're talking. America's like, hey, we really need to lock in our 4. And Matt's like, yeah, we could call it the 4-way rats. Because remember, there's been 2 joke final 3 alliances with Corey and America. Corey and America, Jag, the Unreliables. Corey and America, Matt, the 3-way rats. And so he's like, maybe we could call it the 4-way rats with Jag. Corey joins the conversation. He's like, yeah, no. Well, let's approach Jag and tell him that we've had a final 3 this whole time and we finally feel comfortable bringing him in. It's the three-way rats and Jag.
He'll love that.
This is a joke. And they keep joking about it, but the point of it is that they do want to name the alliance. For the sake of as Matt will later call it, publicity.
For the sake of a segment on the show.
Funny. We then get into a few segments in a row where we're going to be talking about nominations for next week. Cam, Bowie, and Jag are talking in the HOH. They're talking about this is the plan. We're all against Blue now. Mimi's staying, so Blue and Mimi make the most sense for nominations. If one of them comes down, the other one leaves. It's that simple. And they all agree those should be the nominations. Cam then also talks to Corey in America. They talk about Blue. Corey says he felt like he was baited into saying things about Cam. Even just today, he said that Blue told him like, oh yeah, Cam really brings a lot of the hate onto himself, and then looked at him like waiting for him to say something so that she could bring it back to Cam, which is absolutely something that she's been doing to Corey for the last like week and a half.
Yep.
He's finally recognizing it. They talk about what the nom should be next week, and it's again brought up, is there any reason to not just do Blue and Mimi? Nope, that's what makes the most sense. And Corey says, yeah, that makes sense to me too. If she's working with Blue and she's being super cagey with me and not telling anybody who she's going to nominate, then yeah, we should just put her up on the block next to Blue.
Yeah. And there's no defense. Like it's tough. It's a tough break. Them's the breaks.
Mm-hmm. Jag and America talk about the Blue stuff as well. Cam has now filled America in on the Blue stuff. And so she talks about it with Jag. She says, man, it would have been wild if Cam had been like, Felicia, your speech worked. Corey, take a seat. And Jag's like, that's what it was, though. Like, me and Matt have been in the trenches while you and Corey have been lollygagging around.
Mhm.
And she's like, I just can't believe Blue's going that hard. And they talk about, again, nominating Blue and Mimi next week.
No. I'm sorry. And this is the last I'll say about it on this podcast. America, I just can't believe Blue's going this hard. What? Where have you been? Where have you been? That is so obnoxious to me. It's get your head in the game. Get your head in the game. And I am like kind of an America Corey, okay? Like I did not want Corey to go this week. I like them. I am rooting for them. But like get your head in the game. Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Felicia, in the meantime, has still been talking about Corey all day. I don't know where. I mean, she's always hated Corey, but I don't know where the particular like I think maybe because she started pitching about Corey early this
Yeah.
morning and she thought maybe Corey was another option. But she's moved from Cam to Corey for now. And so now she's ranting about Corey. She said, I don't understand why America decided to come at me when my speech was aimed at Corey. What has she done in this game? And everything I said about Corey was true. He's been lying, cheating, stealing, and listening through walls all season. I'm done with him.
Go, Felicia! I can. I love her. I really don't want to lose her this week. I really don't. And I really don't want to lose Mimi either because I have been waiting for her potential to pop through. But like at this point, somebody's given us a lot of potential and somebody's given us incredible feeds and cussing out Jag in a chicken suit. So like I'm gonna go with Felicia every time at this point, you know?
Mm. Well, Corey and America are going to talk. Corey says that now that they've talked to Jag and Matt, he's like, I talked to them. I wish they'd told me about the blue thing, but I do believe that it only happened like last night. And so there wasn't a lot of time to tell me. America's like, I don't think it's just last night, though. I feel like it's got to have been longer. And Corey's like, well, what could we do about it anyway? Like, what could we do about it? Not much. And they talk about the Final Four deal a little bit later. They're saying, Corey's essentially saying, like, look, going to Final Four with Matt and Jag is not ideal. We don't want that. But there might not be a lot that we can do about it because we have all these other issues in the way, like Blue and Cam and Mimi and all of these people who aren't willing to work with us. And if the only people willing to work with us are Matt and Jag, then and they're the biggest comp threats, then like it's going to be hard to get them out. And even if we do, they're the only people willing to work with us. So it might be tough to avoid that Final Four. And it's not the end of the world. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world if we go to the Final Four with them. All we need to do is win a couple of those comps at the end, maybe Final Five, maybe Final Four. And then all of a sudden we're in with a good shot. If the two of us make it to the final three against one of them, then we have a guaranteed 50-50 shot at the questions because one of us is going to make it there for sure. So it's not the worst. And they disagree a bit on whether Matt or Jag should be the first person they target at the Final Four, Final Five spot. Corey thinks it should be Jag. She thinks it should be Matt. Ultimately, Corey seems to, for now, win the argument, saying that Jag is more threatening in competitions than Matt, and that even though Matt has better connections with people, at that point it won't matter. I think that I disagree with Corey on really both ends of that. I think Matt is probably more threatening than Jag in the competitions, and also Matt having more connections is more dangerous because I think that there's a world where Corey beats Jag. I don't think there's a world where Corey beats Matt. So
Also, him saying, like, but at that point, it won't matter. Like, what's that clip of Tiffany saying, I don't know how Cameron's going to do that from home? Like, that's sort of the, like, oh, at that point, even though Matt has great connections, it won't matter. And it's like, I think that the issue is that he has great connections, and I'm not certain that a Final Four with them is in your future. Eek.
yeah. So that's sort of the thing there. This conversation I think caused a lot of confusion if you didn't watch the whole thing because there were parts of it that sounded like Corey actively wanted to go to the Final Four with those two, which is not really the case. And there's also like the idea that he might want Jag out soon, which is also not the case. That he was talking about taking Jag out at the very end, and that's only if they end up there in the first place. He still, again, has to deal with a lot of other people before he can look at Jag and Matt, at least right now. And so that is where they seem to currently stand. Jag talks to Matt and Bowie. They talk about getting rid of Mimi this week and keeping Felicia. Bowie says she'd be down for it, but they don't know if Corey and America would be. There's more talk there's been talk throughout the day with Cam, Bowie, Jag, and Matt about solidifying their Final Four and naming their thing. And so there's a lot of talk about that, but they don't end up giving it a name quite yet. And then the feeds are pretty choppy through the night, and they're weirdly like not on the conversation that is happening late into the night with Matt, Jag, Corey, and America. It's just like on people sleeping while they're out there just hanging out. But they do eventually turn on to this conversation. And when they do, they're talking about voting out Mimi and keeping Felicia. We later find out that apparently Corey is the one that brought this up, and not Matt and Jag. Corey had been making a joke to Jag earlier about how maybe it would make sense to keep Felicia for him because she's a guaranteed jury vote for him. She apparently thinks he's the best player in the house, which is just, again, such a bad joke to make.
I know, but that would actually make me laugh. Like I understand that that's a bad joke, but if I was playing with Corey and he said that after he just got pummeled publicly in front of everybody, like that's funny to me.
He's just telling people, like, not only is he kind of serious about this joke, but he's then bringing up the possibility of keeping Felicia in the game when that doesn't really make sense for him in the first place. And then if Felicia does now stay, and now she is in the jury, people are now going to think, okay, Corey's got one jury vote locked up. He's got America's jury vote locked up. Like, why? Why would you put that? This is an opportunity for Corey to be like, I'm never getting Felicia's vote. I can't win the game. Why? Like, why in the world would you go in the other direction?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's because you're saying like he's kind of serious. If I was there, I would have been like, this is sarcastic, obviously. She just like pummeled him
No,
publicly.
he gave the argument as to why. He's like, she thinks I'm the best player.
I know. And then in 2 updates from now, when Matt brings it up, you're going to be on the update and be like, I told you that you shouldn't have made that joke. But like, you know, I don't know. Like, let the guy have a second to laugh and breathe with his friends.
He had all the seconds he wanted in the first like week of the game when he did it way too much. It's been 62 days, dude. You need to stop.
Taran does not find Corey funny. That's the headline from this update.
So Corey apparently brought this plan to vote out Mimi up. I think because of his weird conversation with Mimi. Corey is like pushing this idea. He says the biggest issue is Cam because Cam obviously really wants Felicia out. And Matt and Jag are like, well, we could talk to him. America says, well, I've already brought it up to him and he shot it down. And they're like, okay, well, maybe you guys don't talk to him about it then. We can feel it out.
They say, yeah, to you. He shot it down to you, not to us.
Corey and America leave, and Jag asks Matt, like, so are we gonna name this thing? And Matt's like, yeah, they want me to. They want us to. And Jag's like, all right, I guess it, like we can do that. And Matt's like, yeah, for the publicity. And they discuss how much to tell Bowie. Should they tell Bowie about their final 4, or should they bring Bowie in the final as a final 5 and make it seem like it's all of a final 5, so they don't have to tell Bowie about the 4 because they know that they've got this other 4 with Bowie that they're maybe gonna make. And so Jag is just very concerned about like how much they're telling who. And so in the meantime, Corey and America are in the bathroom talking about their discussion that they just had. They're talking about Felicia versus Mimi. And Corey says, yeah, you're right. I don't know if we can work with Felicia moving forward, which is a problem. It seems like America's kind of more on the side of we should take Felicia out. And Corey's been a little more on the other side, but he sees America's points about like not being able to work with Felicia. But he says, but I'm also really not sure I'm okay on a Mimi HOH. America's like, why? It's like, because 1, she's apparently really close to Blue. And 2, Blue hates me, apparently. And 3, my conversation with her today was terrible. It was awkward. It was weird. And she's so vague about who she wants to work with and who she's targeting. Like, I felt very bad about it. And she's like, is that just your paranoia, though? And he's like, maybe. And so they don't really come to a conclusion here, but they're not quite locked in yet with this vote. Jag and Matt end up coming back in and talking about how they're like, man, at least we strategized tonight instead of just messing around like normal. Though, to be fair, we could have done all the strategizing in like 20 minutes. So apparently we didn't miss much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jag and Matt continue to talk after Corey and America leave. They talk about needing to take a shot at Cam soon. Jag says that Jag talks through again, like, well, what are we going to tell to who, and how do we deal with the fallout of Cam inevitably telling people about the fugitives once we take a shot at him? They're like, should we tell people about the fugitives ahead of time? Matt says, well, if we take a shot at him, then people will know the alliance was fake, and they're gonna be like, why didn't you tell us though? And so they're just wondering exactly how they should deal with that.
I mean,
And yeah,
it doesn't, to me, like, yeah, we made that because Cameron was HOH and he named it the fugitives, and we worked our butts off, Corey, to try to save you. Like, that's the easiest out ever. Like, it's fine.
that's sort of Matt's perspective. Jag loves playing, and now that he's playing from the top, like he's able to do all of this like stuff, and it makes a little more sense. And so he's always gaming Jag. They also wonder if Cam has a deal with America. Because Cam never seems to want to target America. He only seems to want to target Corey. And America never seems to want to target Cam in their conversations with her. And so they're worried about that as well. So it's in general just still kind of worried about Cam, wondering when the right time to take the shot is. Maybe not quite yet, but definitely soon.
Yeah. I am excited to see who wins HOH next week and where this all plays out. I think that there's lots of different ways it can go. Obviously, there's sort of consensus targets overall. Like, I think we're looking at either Cam or Corey leaving, maybe Blue. But there's movement, and but there are. All I know is that my girl Suri is safe. That's all I know.
Yeah, still nobody gonna even put her on the block. That she might be a replacement nom if Blue or Mimi come down, if that is currently the plan. But they currently don't plan to nominate her. But things might change with this vote, which could change things. So we will have to see about that. Matt does continue to talk about Suri to Jag, saying he wants to bring Suri to the final four with them. He wants it to be himself, Jag, Bowie, and Suri. And Jag's like, you would deal with Suri. Matt's like, no, it's just it makes sense to bring her to the end with us. And so we'll see where all of that goes. But right now, it does seem like there's a lot of momentum to keep Felicia and take out Mimi. The fact that Corey is so on board with it when he really shouldn't be, and he's, again, I talked about this last night. There's two big hurdles to jump over for Felicia. One is Corey in America. That already is mostly happened. Like Corey has already sort of given it away enough to be like, now Matt and Jag can talk about following through on this without Corey and America being able to put their foot down and say no, because Corey and America had a great excuse. She just came for us. There's no way we can keep her. I'm sorry. There's just no way we can't do that. We can't agree with this move. But now that Corey's been like, no, I actually think it's a good idea. Felicia's a locked in jury vote for me. They can be like, we already talked about this. What do you mean we can't do it? I'm like, yeah, you're right. So now the only obstacle left is Cam. The fact that Cam really doesn't want Felicia on the jury. He's targeting Felicia in the first place. And most importantly, I think he's already been pushed to not do the move he really wanted to do, which was take out Corey, for Jag and Matt to come to him and say, so the other thing you really wanted to do, Felicia, we'd rather do Mimi. Might be a bridge too far. Might be just a little bit too much for Cam. But he may also see the logic in it, and he may feel like it does make some sense and just actually change his mind. That's going to be I think the biggest thing that we need to pay attention to moving forward when it comes to the vote this week.
Yeah. And I see, both sides of it, but also like Cameron can't win HOH next week. Like, sorry that he didn't get what he wanted on his HOH, but like maybe he shouldn't have made those nominations. And like I understand why like Jag and Matt would want to preserve the relationship as much as they can, but like if they're already thinking about targeting him next week, like Just do what you want.
Well, it's not next week. I at least right now they're not thinking
Okay.
next week. They're thinking soon, but not quite next week. And basically, I think from their perspective, it's like if you piss Cam off, then we have no choice. Then it's all out war next week. We have to get him out or risk him coming back the following week, winning an HOH and coming after us. I don't think that they will make this move without Cam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what
Okay.
happens here. That is about what I've got. Anything else you want to bring up, Maggie?
No. Just, the whole season has come to such a screeching halt during Zombie Week. And it is hard, I think, us as a whole community to try to be like, okay. And are we back yet? Are we back yet? And I understand that the Corey backdoor would have been really exciting and it would have gotten us all, energized again and back in. And so I'm sorry for us as a community wanting exciting things to happen. But there's still a chance that the vote flips. There's still I'm really hoping that that this season finds its groove again. And yeah, I'm here with all of you. We're all in the trenches together, okay? There's no need for infighting. We all sat through Zombie Week. I think that's the reason why the infighting is happening that you guys were talking about on the roundtable last night. It's like last week was so boring. We had to come up with our own fun,
Yeah, maybe. Well, that's what we have for you then today. I'll, of course, be back tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, to update you on everything that happens today on the Big Brother 25 live feeds, including whether or not this vote is flipping. And I'll also be live tonight, twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong, watching tonight's Tuesday night veto episode of Big Brother 25, where we will see the almost backdoor of Corey. And then, of course, after the episode, we'll be live to recap all of it that has gone down. So find me over there on Twitch. Look me up on Instagram. Find the Twitters. And Maggie, what do you got going on?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at @MLMorgan_. I will be at the Bryson Wen event tonight here in New York City, and I will be at RHAP Live tomorrow. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet for either of those and you're in the area, please do.
All right. Well, that's what we have for you then today. Thank you all so much for joining us, and I will see all of you next time.